Soul. Welcome. This is Rochelle with the Healing Rose, your tarot and oracle reader, and we are taking a look today at what do we need to know that will help us to stay grounded amidst the chaos of the upcoming holiday season. All of the events, the family affairs, we have shopping for friends and family. We have work commitments. We have social commitments. And we're trying to create all kinds of balance. And we're pulled this way and that way. And what is it that we need to know that can help us to be more centered and be more grounded as we move through the next few weeks, as we approach the holiday season? All right. So what is it that we need to hear today? Okay. All right. This has come out in 2 different readings today, so that's kind of funny for me. The seven of chalices, the 7 of cups. This is all about our choices. We have so many options available to us, right? Do you get this gift? Do you get that gift? Do I go to this dinner? Do I go to that dinner? I've already made plans here, but I want to go here. What is it that I want to do? And we're pulled in 1,000 directions, right? And this, to me, is the essence. Like, this is where we're starting from, and this is the essence of this whole season. I know for me, it always feels like a little chaotic and a little always rushed, right? So our 7 of chalices is always a little bit of a call to pause and be clear on what it is that we want before we move forward, right? But definitely, here's all the options in front of us. We can only drink from 1 cup at a time. Which cup will you choose? Because all of them look pretty good, right? There's so many different choices. All right, so our inspiration and motivation here, we have the Queen of Chalices. The Queen of Cups is always about self-care. She knows how to nurture herself. She is able to stay emotionally calm and balanced, right? So here's our inspiration, being emotionally calm and balanced. And that is through nurturing self-care, through taking that moment to pause, right? And that might mean you're stepping into a nice hot bubble bath that you have booked for yourself. And you've just put it on the schedule and you're not taking any calls and you're not doing anything, you're not going anywhere, but you're just taking that moment to soak and pause and just, savor the solitude. It could be whatever practice that you have in place that allows you to nurture your self-care, right? That allows you to nurture yourself. Whatever it is in your routine that you need to put in or need to schedule in, it feels like it's going to be really important once again to just, here's our inspiration, here's our motivation. That cool, calm, collected, relaxed, emotionally stable, feels centered, feels loved. What higher wisdom guides us? We have the Ace of Wands. So as we step into making choices, we want to always, I think, have in the back of our mind, like, what is it that we're passionate about? What nurtures us? What feeds our joy? These are the choices we want to make. So the truth that needs to be spoken to, and I love that it's the Knight of Pentacles, because the Knight of Pentacles is the one knight out of all of the suits that is not in a rush, kind of moves along at a calm, sedate pace, knowing that all things happen in their own time. We'll get there in the end. We don't need to rush. We don't need to be chaotic. All things come with time, right? And so I love this. So what is going to help us to be centered, to be calm, to be collected, so that, we're not caught up in the chaos. And right here we have the system, right? The focus. Okay. The opportunity or the challenge. We have the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands, I love this, right? We have our ace, we have our queen. And our queens are always like, they don't need to be, completely in charge of everything, they're completely in charge and in control of themselves, right? So the Queen of Cups, she's very emotionally balanced and centered and collected. And the Queen of Wands is, she knows what she's passionate about. She knows what she wants. And, I think having that focus, right? And again, she's just facing us and she's got this very kind of joyful, yet still um relaxed looking, She's happy and she's content. And I love that. So we have our Knight of Pentacles, right? All things come with time. We have our Queen of Wands. So we can step into what we're passionate about. And I love that as an opportunity. It could just, be a challenge, right? Let's be clear about what our passions are and be willing to step into them. So the blessing. I love this Page of Pentacles. So our pages are all about, being studious. It's like we might not know a lot about what we're doing, but we're curious. We're ready to get there. We're willing to put the work in. It's a bit of a process. And it's kind of interesting. I always think of the Page of Pentacles as being someone who is very focused on things in a monetary way, but they don't quite know what they're doing. They're excited about it. They're eager to learn about it. But they don't really know, So there's definitely some spilled salt over there, but are we worried about it? No, we're not, because we're pretty well focused, right? Because we're passionate about what it is that we're doing and we're creating something. I love that. Okay. So what needs to be released or prepared in order to move forward? And I think it's fascinating to follow a Page of Pentacles with a Fool, right? So to me, this is saying when we're asking in this particular position, right? This is what do we have to release? Taking the leap before you look. It's maybe we want to pause and think about what our focus is, right? What are we passionate about before we, take some crazy leap into something? It's maybe we want to pause and think about, what's the cost going to be? Do I actually know what I'm getting into? I kind of know a little bit. Should I take that leap? Or should I just, pause to think things through? Really interesting, right? What needs to be released, what needs to be prepared in order to move forward. That Fool is such an interesting card to have in that placement for us. Okay, so what is hidden? The joy. To me, it feels like, we're not, when we're caught up in the bustle, we're not necessarily seeing the joy. We're not seeing the support that maybe we're craving. That there will be joyous celebrations. We just need to, maybe we need to be selective about which. Almost feels like, yeah, you'll go and you'll enjoy yourself, but maybe we need to, think about it before we just say yes to every invitation that we receive. Okay. So what do we need to understand? To me, again, this feels like rushing into a situation, right? The Knight of Athames, the Knight of Swords is just kind of charging forward. It's oh, we've got an idea and away we go with it. And these to me are really feeling don't jump into anything, don't rush into anything without kind of understanding what the toll is going to be, because no matter what we do, right, It's like that might take a little bit more energy out of you. It might cost you a few hours of sleep. It might, set back your savings. It might, we need to, I think this is saying like really take a moment to be calm and centered, take care of yourself, and don't make any rash decisions. Don't just go like racing forward with the next new idea. To me, it feels like it's going to be important to take time, to really take time. So, the support system. What supports you? What nurtures you? Um, hmm. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Hmm. Okay. I think that's really interesting. That Nine of Pentacles is there, right? So it's about really savoring your successes and how far you've come. So again, it feels like there needs to be a moment to pause, right? Because nobody, like, it's like, yeah, when you don't really know, it's like you can play, you can be joyous, you can celebrate, you can, embrace the positive things, but it's saying, like, to me, it's saying, like, maybe we need to be a little bit more responsible in the decisions that we make this week. Like, think it over. Um, yeah, to me, it just really feels again like don't rush into anything, right? Take the time to savor. Um, to me, it feels almost more like we're choosing the social, family and friends support, joy, gathering, dancing, um, those experiences over like spending and gifting and getting caught up in trying to find the perfect um, thing to give to someone or needing to, it definitely feels, I don't even know if I know how to express this sensation that's coming up. It feels more about like experiencing the grace and the gratitude and the joy of connection um, rather than getting caught up in the other things going on. Uh-huh. Okay. So our page of Athames. So really like it's okay to be curious about what's going on, right? Take the time to learn something. Take the time to have the experience, of the curiosity of looking into. We have two pages here, and we have two knights, and we have two queens, and that's a kind of really interesting juxtaposition and pairing, right? It's like passion and, the cool, calm, collected, emotionally centered, right? Versus like, the fire and the passion and the taking things in their own time versus like madly rushing forward. And we have this like, maybe we're a little bit more focused on the earthly, the financial, the gains that we can have versus the curiosity, um, and kind of seeking to understand and seeking a bit more knowledge here. So, all right. Yeah, so that's kind of really, really interesting to have that come out as our final card. So the Horned God is also our Emperor, right? Which is about controlling your world. So, being in control of things, feeling like you're in control, feeling like you're in charge. So, if we can do these things, right? If we can take the time for self-care, if we can take that moment to be focused, right? What is it that we're really passionate about? What actually lights us up with joy as we step forward, and when you sit and think about it, what things, if you think about, I want to go to this place and do this, versus I want to go to this place and do this. It's like, if I go here, how do I feel about that? Does it light you up with joy inside? And going to this place, does it feel like it lights you up with joy? Is there another option that when you think about it, it actually makes you feel all warm and cozy inside? Because maybe that's the option you choose. To me, this feels a lot about, it speaks a lot to, um, just developing that emotional intelligence where we understand how we feel about an option, whether it's this purchase or that purchase, or this place or that place, or this party or that party, or going with my friends versus going with my family. And, we do often have to pick and choose because there's so many options out there. And when we are able to pause, we're taking care of ourselves. We are listening to our internal dialogue of like what feels good and what doesn't. It's not getting caught up in to me, this feels like, don't get caught up in the consumerism. Don't get caught up in the sort of, I don't know what the word for it is, like the brainwashing of the masses, where it's like, this is the season for you to buy this and buy that and do this and do that. And we got all the things. Look, you can have all the things. You can have it all. You just need to, sacrifice, all your inner peace and calm, and be pulled in 1,000 directions and feel anxious about what's happening, at work or with your funds or here and there. If we can take the time to just feed our emotional intelligence and feed our intuition and listen to the inner voices, and focus on nurturing ourselves and what nurtures you and what lights you up, and step into that, right? And be open to listening yourself with that little sense of curiosity, right? Where we can learn to look a little deeper within. To me, this just speaks to, listening to the intuition, listening to the internal guidance. And this is how we stay calm and collected, right? It's like, what are we not seeing? What's the one thing we're really missing here? And at the bottom, we have this is the she, right? The fairy. I imagine it is, perhaps it's just Morgan Le Fay creating this amazing potion here. But all things are balanced, right? We have all the elements. We have our earth, air, fire, water. We have, that magical, the magic grounding through into the reality, right? Our dreams made manifest, all things coming through balance, right? We can't have it all, but with balance and moderation, we can enjoy everything this season. And I think that's what this is really, overall, it's speaking to, right? Speaking to like that personal self-control, and that personal emotional intelligence, and nurturing yourself. Nurturing yourself. All right. So I hope that this has resonated with you. And I thank you so much for being here. I so love and appreciate all of you that come and watch through my videos and share my little corner of Tarot Tube. And if you are looking for a personal private reading, sign up for my mailing list. It's in the description box down below. And you get a free spread to work on your own manifesting abundance, as well as new subscribers do get a specially discounted first reading with me over Zoom, or I can send a video recording to answer your burning questions. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day and a fabulous day.